I would recommend this course to everybody. I think it's good for new agents like myself.
I wanted to learn the secret that all agents had, all successful agents had. And I got more than that.
Another day one. Monday, another day one. Start every single day as if it was your first day, and you'll be successful.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Green Valley Sales Meeting. So we're really happy to see you guys here. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to start off with mortgage moments, and Tony's going to go ahead and take it away here.
Good morning, everyone.
Tony.
Over here.
Yeah.
Tony Asquith from Prosperity. We had an inquiry last week, I believe it was, regarding 203K loans. An interesting topic. Has anyone here closed a transaction involving a 203K loan? Anyone? Yeah. How was the experience?
A lot of years ago, it was good.
Okay. But no one else? No one else has closed one? You have? Yeah. Smooth? Okay. Smooth, difficult, time consuming? Okay. A little bit about these type loans. Basically, the purpose of the 203K is to roll into the loan repairs or improvements that are obviously acceptable to an underwriter, rather than seller come out of pocket for those repairs or the buyer have to pay for those repairs. Okay? There are obviously hoops to jump through. And one of the things that I've experienced over the years is you better be ready for an extended escrow period. You're typically you might be looking at 60 days. Obviously, certain things are allowable, certain things are not allowable. The more common ones, and I'm not going to go through them all, obviously, conversions from 1 unit up to 4, rehabbing, improving, constructing a garage, installing, repairing wells, septic tanks, repairing, replacing plumbing, heating, air conditioning, installing or repairing decks, patios, and porches. And again, without going into too much detail, I do have a copy of all the guidelines here, so if you have a spare couple of hours, feel free to knock yourself out. I'll leave these up here. I'm sure there's some nuggets in here. I went through it yesterday and got quite bored, but there is some good information, trust me. Non-allowable expenses, if you like, that we cannot be rolled into the loan amount would be things of a more cosmetic nature, putting in a hot tub, a barbecue pit, something along those lines. A sauna, again, things that would not be allowable and acceptable to increase the loan amount. Obviously, the borrower would need to qualify for the loan once these costs are rolled in, just like a traditional mortgage would be. But again, some of the benefits, or the more obvious ones, in a market with low inventory, it may provide an option. A property that maybe otherwise, with more choices you wouldn't consider, may just be a more viable option in that situation. Not every home is perfect right away, and not all home buyers have the immediate extra funds for improvement. So often the concern is, will this property pass an appraisal? If there's an agreement in place for certain repairs that need to be addressed, then the appraiser will take that into consideration. And he will issue his report subject to, obviously, those repairs or improvements taking place. Okay? There's also the potential for increased equity in your home when the renovations are completed. So, who knows, maybe adding value, that's never a bad thing by any means. The need for a second mortgage or high interest rate. In other words, if it's going to be expensive, rather than put them on a credit card or something along those lines, this might be a more affordable way to do it. okay? I will say this, and I've been doing this 19 years. I've not completed one of these yet. I've had several come close, but typically a lot of the buyers, and obviously you have to have the agreement with the seller on some of these expenses, they get frustrated with the process. You have to hire a consultant, and they're on their own time schedule, trust me. So that's why there is an extended escrow period with these things. But again, a valid option. If it means there's a property there that otherwise we wouldn't look at, hey, maybe we're taking a punt on it. Okay? Again, there's all kinds of detail in here. And if you'd like more specifics, I'm going to be here the rest of the day. I'll be happy to go over them with you, or you can always email, text, or call, whatever. Okay?
Any questions? Thank you,
Okay.
Tony.
Thank you. Let me know.
Okay, and then we're gonna just do needs and wants really quick. Anybody have a need or want, a buyer or seller that you guys want to promote today? Okay, I'll start. So we have a duplex on the market right now. The price is $460. It's about a price improvement from $480 to $460. Income producer, it's got $2,200 a month that you make in income. So it's a really good investment. Call me today. Come see it. It's fabulous. Off of Boulder Highway. That's all you need to know. So that's that. So anybody else? Come on, you guys have something, listings? You guys have a buyer that you want to place somewhere? Nothing?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Adam.
I've got a listing out in the southwest off of Buffalo and Wigwam. It's 3,953 square feet, 4 bedroom, 3 baths. It's on a 3/4 of an acre, huge lot, right in the beautiful southwest, right by my house. Oh, well, how much?
Yeah.
It's free.
It's true.
It's free. You just got to add 1.1 million on top of it.
Yes, come on in.
I
Can you see Debbie?
got a listing coming on tomorrow.
Listing tomorrow,
Over here in
Valley Verde.
Single story, 1/4 acre, pool, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 3-car garage. It's gonna be $560.
560. Single story? Did you say a single story? Single story with a pool off of Valley Verde. 560. Anybody else? I think you should. I think you should open up that store. Okay. All right, great. Well, we wanted to go ahead and have a great meeting today. We want to talk a little bit about some of the programs that you guys are doing right now with the market that we have right now. We want to kind of diversify some of the pillars that you're using currently for lead generation. So we offered and accepted. So we have some panel people coming up here today talking a little bit about what they do for lead generation. Chris is going to moderate, so we're going to welcome Chris Bishop up here.
Thank you. So Todd let me know that he was doing pillars of business. And so I'm one of the most stable pillars that he knows. And so he asked that I help moderate this, but we have an amazing panel. I'm going to invite them up. We have our very own Roy Habari. Come on up, Roy. Take whatever. Right here, they have stickers on them.
Yep.
We have Jeff Davenport. Come on up, Jeff. Got your stickers in the middle. Christian Perillo, wherever he's at over there. And, round of applause for Christian. And of course, Gabriel Rangel right there. Come on up, Gabriel. You're the last seat left right here. Oh, am I still on screen?
Are we on?
Okay, just making sure. So we're going to talk today about the real estate market. We're going to talk today about what you guys are doing in your business. But first, show of hands. Out of all 4 of you, who works an SOI, Sphere of Influence? Okay, so every single person up here has Sphere of Influence. It's almost like it was planned that way. Real quick, just each of you tell us what your Sphere of Influence looks like. How many do you have in it? How often do you contact them? What do you say when you call? Christian, we'll start with you.
I have about 417 Sphere of Influence. I talk to them every quarter.
Every quarter.
And I also send them something in paper to remind them who I am.
Fantastic.
Every quarter.
Fantastic. Jeff?
I would say it's about 153. The list is growing. The goal is 400 as well. Let's see. Yeah, about once a quarter is the current plan in place. And then we do send them numerous marketing and this and that. And then my current 150, they do actually get a physical newsletter.
Nice.
in the mail.
Nice. Paper that folds. That's fantastic. Gabriel.
I have about 800. Every single person in my sphere hears from me every single week, whether it is mailers, whether it is direct text message, phone calls. They have some sort of way to be contacted every single week.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Wow. Roya.
Well, mine's 102 because I just started really working my sphere. I have like over like thousands in there, but they're not really people that I contact on a regular basis. So we just started kind of putting them into a program where we have a touch point every week, and then we also have them automated, like, you know, for their birthdays and things like that. So, and also when they buy and sell houses.
So out of your SOIs, what I think is really interesting is we didn't hear anyone say 5,000. We didn't hear anyone say over 1,000. I think 800 was the most. For your business right now, how much of it comes from your sphere? If you just had to ballpark it, number of transactions for the whole percentage, 50%, 40%, what would you say?
Oh, last year it was only 20%, and that was something I'm working with my coach on, who's Brandon. And that's something that I really need to focus on is my sphere of influence, because I really don't concentrate that much on that, and that's a big area of miss for me because I have the background that I have. But I did all the numbers the other day, and two or three of them actually were on my sphere.
That's awesome. So large volume of business last year with 100 people. That's fantastic. How much of your business comes from your SOI?
I'm about 80%.
Okay, nice. Completely different angle on that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff?
It's about 65.
65? I think you made that number up. It's probably, 63.4.
It is.
I rounded up, but that's okay.
I didn't want to bore you with it.
Christian?
Last year, my sphere, it was only 30%.
30%? Okay, very cool. All right, so also for the context of the group as we move into the next subject, tell everyone how long you've been in the real estate business, and we'll start with you, Roy.
Like for almost 20 years.
20 years.
Holy.
7 years.
7 years. Jeff?
24.
24. Wow, almost my age.
18.
18. Okay. So we have a group of individuals that is seasoned. Seasoned is the way to say that in the real estate market. So that's awesome. Other than your SOI, we'll start with Gabriel this time. Other than your SOI, what is your primary source of business?
Social media.
Social media. Tell us more about that. What do you mean by like Instagram and I need to go there more often? Or?
Instagram. I actually used to advertise on social media a lot. Instagram, Facebook, before everybody else was, really taking on that niche. So I was constant every single day. I would post 3 on my timeline. I would post on my story multiple times a day. And that's before everybody else started really getting onto that. So that's what helped me and got me a little bit of boost on that Instagram. And
so to stay more on that topic, because it is something that I think everyone now, who here in the room has a Facebook page? Okay, so that question used to be one that, what's Facebook? How about Instagram? Okay, so not as many. What about LinkedIn? Okay, what about TikTok? Okay, wow, that was pretty much a good majority. So social media for you has been a great business generator. What do you get from social media? Is it raw leads? Is it new people for your database? I mean, is it just people that raise their hand and say, yeah, I'm ready to buy a house?
Yeah, honestly, a lot of them reach out to me. I just post motivational stuff. I try to get people into the market or curious about the market. So I always leave some sort of cliffhanger, and they reach out to me saying, hey, I'm interested. How do I know more about this? So that's.
So you're enticing them to reach out to you.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, awesome. Jeff, what is your secondary source of business?
Secondary, at least one of the polls that's out there is actually farming. And Brandon does cover it in the academy.
Yeah.
And let's see, I've been in my neighborhood where I live now for 8 years. I've done 5 transactions in that and 2 others, like a referral from that group. So almost 1 a year. So once again, it's one of the polls that's in the pond.
So when you say farming, let's describe what that looks like. I mean, do you have a pitchfork and some fertilizer? I mean, what do you do to make the farming come together and generate those deals?
I like this guy. So one of the things I do is I actually do have various postcards. These are like little cute guy right here is for Valentine's Day. Do one for St. Patty's and this and that. It is done through Corfax, so it's very easy. I just put in my farm there. And then there's different levels that you can get, but you can also get phone numbers, emails, and then also door knocking as part of that as well.
Wow, okay. So you entice them in person?
Yeah. Oh, and I also have a big old picture of my car, so people, and I live right on the corner, so people really get to see me when they're coming in and out. It's like, oh, you're the real estate
Do
guy.
you have your picture on your car or a photo of your car?
No, on my car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure. She says on 2 cars. She's upset about that, we could tell, but it's okay. It's all for the business. Christian, tell us about your secondary source.
One of the pillars that we use is cold calling. The old cold calling, cold calling, not for sell by owners or expires that everybody's competing against. Straight cold call. Every 100 hours, I did 100 hours, 107 hours, and from those 107 hours, I made $82,000,
Wow.
which is about 7 transactions. But like Jeff says, when people tell you about cold calling, they expect that listing today, and that's not the case. Last year, we closed 2 of them that we called in 2018.
Wow.
So it's a long game, but it is a very profitable game.
Absolutely. Cold calling. So we had so far social media, farming, and cold calling. We're hitting all the pillars right here in a row. Roya, tell us what your secondary business source is.
Well, we do a lot through LinkedIn, actually. So I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that and how to grow that area. I think it's a really untapped social media pillar, I guess you can say, because it really does touch on more the business angle of what you're doing. So a lot of people, when they come onto your LinkedIn, they know that you are a qualified, well, they hope that they know that you're qualified, you have experience, and that really kind of does turn a lot of those people into your clients because they're going to call you for different advice and things of that nature. And of course, it doesn't hurt if you have a strong following in the first. So my background with the Chamber of Commerce kind of gave me a big LinkedIn following, and then that's where like 3/4 of my business came from last year.
So
Wow.
just to make sure that I understand it completely, you have gone out to vendor partners or business professionals in the marketplace that are clamoring to find people to sell their products to, and you've connected with them in order to use their referrals for real estate and vice versa.
So that's exactly true. And that's exactly what I wanted us to also talk about a little bit today, because when you become a service to another person, you become invaluable to that person. So when you start connecting them with another person through the sphere, through whatever it is, I need a plumber. Okay, here, let me give you 3 or 4 ideas. When that happens and you become that person, then you're not even gonna have to talk about real estate. They're gonna come to you and they're gonna start talking about it. So that's really how LinkedIn works for me.
That's awesome. So what I want to do next, and I want to prepare you guys for this, I want to understand exactly, we hear great things like I get it from social media, from farming, but for the average agent that's never done those, can you explain what you actually are doing? Like you said 107 hours, what happens in an hour? Like people just kind of see your phone light on fire and it's just burning up. What happens?
It's a very, very long game, and it's not for the weak of heart. Right? Those of you who have done cold call will understand. They told me to F myself more times than I'm so used to it by now. If I don't have somebody telling me, it's not a good day, right? So
we have a program.
Yeah. So it's a tedious work. If you guys are at the office, you'll see me with a headset. Concentrate, sit there, and you just dial away. I use a triple dialer. Everybody wants to know what the list is. Is there better numbers? No, the same numbers. I mean, I use Mojo. It's the cheapest way to get into it. Triple dialer is $150. The list is $30. There's no special list. There's no special things. You just gotta put in the time.
So when you talk about time, if I take Monday through Sunday,
yes.
What days do you prospect on? What time of day? How long a session?
They're just going to tear this shit out
right on the phone.
Well, here's what I would really want to do. Right? When I first started, those 107 hours were done in 6 months. That time. I did it from whenever I woke up. I would take a shower, come to the office, and if it was 12 to 2, I would do 12 to 2. If it was 10 to 11, whenever I had the most energy, I don't believe there is a certain time, especially here in Vegas. We all have different schedules, and most people work in casinos. So There was a month where I did 20 hours, and then there was a month where I made 32 hours. You know, depending on how busy I was, you just got to put in the time. It's really just a numbers game.
So, and this is the next question for everybody anyway, but it makes perfect sense right now. What script do you use? Do you have a script? Do you just say what comes to the top of mind?
No. I have a very, very good script. This is the best script in the world, guys, and I'm going to share it with you. I paid thousands of dollars for this. And it says, hi, is this Joe? Yes. Hey, Joe, my name is Chris from Signature Real Estate. And I was just calling to see if you're thinking about selling your house. Then Joe says, no. And I said, well, thank you, bye. I didn't try to convince nobody. I haven't been able to convince anybody buying a house. I don't know about you guys. Or selling a house.
Pay thousands for that?
Huh? Yeah, exactly. So I was like, no. Well, here's why. Because everybody has heard the Mike Ferry.
Yeah.
Usually when somebody sells a house, 2 or 3 people, I know it, believe me. In today's world, who wants to talk to a stranger with an accent? Let me tell you, nobody. So you want to be fast. Hey, how you doing? Do you want to sell your house? No, thank you, bye. Hey, how you doing? You want to sell your house? Thank you, bye. I'm on a triple dialer. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? So it is a numbers game because now when somebody said, well, maybe, oh, okay, maybe, great. But not now. When? Next year? Sure. Then I'll put them on my calendar, and if they give me a year, I'll call them half that time. And that's just what I do. Then to do what he's doing is once I have somebody that connected with me that they didn't tell me to go after myself, and I know the address, and I confirm with them, then I put them on a Core-Fact so they can see.
Sure.
Getting another good thing about Core-Fact is you can actually see they received it and they opened it. So it just gets it warmer, and you continue touching bases with them until one day they decide to sell.
Love it, love it. So speeding through the numbers makes the difference. I think that's a great point.
Absolutely, because like I said, at the end of the day, it's a numbers game. Now, I got lucky.
Yeah.
When the first one, I think that's the one that got me going through. The first was school teacher, Teresita, God bless her soul. Hey, my name is Chris. Do you want to sell your house? And she goes, as a matter of fact, yes. And I didn't know what to say. And then I went up, because you're not used to it, right? I go, oh, can I interview for the job? And she laughs. She goes, yeah, come in at 12. It was 10. Go in there. She goes, well, you guys charge 6%, right? I go, and they signed, and I walked away. I put it on the market, sold. I sent a picture of that check to my mom because that's the day that my business changed. I no longer had to rely on my sphere, friends or family.
Yeah.
Because come on, guys. Once my sphere reacts, at least my sphere, 1 year, the next year they're dead, right? It goes up and down. And I was just tired of this hills and down. So it really changed the way I approach real estate completely.
I love it. Gabriel, let's talk about you for a second. So social media, I think what freaks some people out is some people don't like video. They don't record it well. They don't sound well on it. They just freak out about the whole thing. I notice you do a lot of video. You have a lot of video content that's out there. You have a lot of great posts where they're just enticing, like you said. How did you come up with that? Did you use a service? Did you have a script for it? I mean, how did you create your content?
I have a content creator, so
No kidding.
yeah. I'm not creative. If I try to make it on my own, it'll look like a 1990s Nokia video probably. So, yeah, content creator creates everything for me. We kind of brainstorm, think of ideas, and yeah, just execute it.
Is that an extremely expensive service? Is it affordable? Is it something most people could do? What do you recommend?
Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. I pay about $200 a week
Okay.
for the content creating, but it's worth it. I do record some videos on my own where I just set up a tripod and I record what's going on in the current market, just educate people. But for the most part, all my creative videos are done through them.
And are all of your videos about real estate specifically, or are they just in general about information in the market? I mean, what do you stick to as far as content?
It's a variety. If there's something crazy going on in the market, I'll post about that. If I can't think of anything creative, I'll just post generic home for sale.
Sure.
I'll go into some houses that are vacant, just record the inside of the house, and I'll just put, this home's for sale, 500,000.
So Christian made the comment that, his client said, yes, I'm ready to list. In your scenario, you're getting a random phone call or Facebook message or something from a person that you've never met, what is your conversion script like? What do you say? Is it the same thing? I just say, hi, I'm a realtor. I'll come over and meet with you. I mean, what's your process there?
So generally, I want to try to capture their phone number.
Okay.
I feel like most of the time when I try to close it out on social media, they just disappear. So main goal is to capture their phone number.
Roya, LinkedIn. So tell us more about that. I mean, I have a LinkedIn page. I never linked into it. And I just don't do a whole lot with it. It doesn't have the same notifications and things like that, but I do notice it's so easy to connect with people. What do you say? How do you get them engaging? What's your script?
Oh, it's super, super easy. And so like, basically, I don't know what your past, obviously everybody has their own past before they came into real estate. So the area, if you want to concentrate on, real estate, I accept everyone in the United States. I accept everyone here as my friend. And for Facebook, I only do like people that know something. Like I have to have like over like 20 matches before I, have a connection. So when you go onto LinkedIn, because the majority of them are all business people, or they have a business to promote or something of that nature, you already have a commonality with them. So as you're accepting people, there's a service also you can go on to. I think it's called LinkedIn My Solutions or something like that. And they will actually contact all of your people on LinkedIn for you on a regular basis. And they do it on increments, so they don't flag LinkedIn. And it will actually go out there and just say, hi, we have a connection. I'd like to connect with you. We have some commonalities. So then once you get that part done, then you just talk to them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, tell me more about your business. What do you have? How can I help you? Is there certain people that you want to meet? Did you see anybody in my friends that you want to connect with? I'll do an introduction for you. Super easy.
Nice.
But these people will be your friends forever.
Very cool. Jeff, I see you in overalls every time we think about it. And so, so farming is one of those things that takes longevity to make it happen. And so when did you start farming, and how long did it take you before you started getting a crop or results from it?
I was told it's usually about 9 months. It took a year before I got my first transaction out of it. I've been in the neighborhood 8 years, like I said, my car and this and that. It's kind of the easy, low approach. And then we started doing Core-Fact and mailers. I would say we're probably coming up on 2 years. And then during that course of time, during holidays, we would actually go around and give out, like Easter, we gave out, some stuff and something for Halloween, that sort of stuff, like little goodies. And then doing the phone calls and the actual door knocking is something that's actually in the works. And that is actually something that I did get out of the academy, to give up another plug.
That's awesome. So with farming, and I get agents that ask all the time, why would I do that? It seems so antiquated and out of style. The one thing with farming is that every single year, once you gain your market share, you're guaranteed that amount of business as long as you don't screw it up. And so it's like generating a consistent business model forever that you can kind of set on that schedule and make it happen. Farming's expensive, right? I mean, you have to pay for those mailers, you have to pay for those events you're doing. How have you kind of made it affordable for you to never even really worry about it?
Well, once again, taught way back in the day is whenever there's a commission made to actually put a certain portion of that aside. So now farming my neighborhood is just part of my budget, my marketing budget.
Are you saying that you're your best investment?
Sure is.
Yes. Yeah. I haven't looked around. No.
He can farm, folks, but he can't take it. So great information. All of you are doing something almost different, but almost the same, because it's taking the activity from you to plan it, to put it in place. Your schedule itself, right? When we talk about agents that are dealing with closings and they're dealing with activities, how do you carve out the time to prospect? How do you carve out the time to get on LinkedIn or to be on your social media and have those meetings and to be in your neighborhood farming and to get on the phones? How do you make that a priority? Anybody?
Assistance.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
I hire an assistant that helps me out in all my paperwork, sending out transactions for signatures. I feel it's much more valuable to hire an assistant and give myself that time to prospect
Great
and
point.
generate more business.
Wow, that's awesome. So he's leveraged himself into more production. That's how it should be. Anyone else have anything different to add or anything more to add?
Well, I mean, I think we all have 2 hours a day. I mean, that's why I didn't choose open houses for one of the pillars, which is a great way to do. But everybody here has 2 hours to use your phone. So to me, it's like, I gotta get them in. If I don't have those 2 hours of prospecting, like Roya and I the other day, it was 4 o'clock, and I told Roya, I'm not leaving here until I have an appointment. She goes, well, I'm not leaving. And then I just noticed that she did get an appointment and I didn't, and I still left. But I tried. So just put in the time. Like I said, it doesn't have to be 8 hours. I wish I had that energy and that mindset, but we can do 2 hours a day, and those hours in my prospecting way, they will add up and they will get you that sell. Like I said, a long game, but it's just like these guys were saying, it's an extra layer of income.
Sure.
So
And it has to be
do your
consistent.
hours. Yeah, consistency is key.
You have to do the same thing every single day. That's really what's going to make you
Yes.
successful,
And it's boring.
whatever it is. And we all do everything here.
No, that's
It's
really
boring, yeah, but we also all do, I mean, obviously I do a lot of cold calling. I don't do as much farming as I should. Social media we do, but we all kind of touch on every point. I think it's just important that you just realize like what your jam is, like what you like to do. Like, do you like to do open houses? Do you like making phone calls? We'd like to make you all love phone calls, but some of you just are not comfortable. So that's when you have to, sorry, but you have to either get a mentor, a team leader, a coach, someone to help you get to enhance what you're really good at, and also someone to kind of give you an idea of what to do, that things that you're not comfortable with. You know, that's
So you said something very interesting, and I want to poll the panel. Who here has a coach? Wow. Okay. So there's always some help and support to make it all come around. You have the opposite. You have support, right? And so I think that's the same thing in reverse, is that you have people supporting you in what you're doing to leverage yourself to do more things. Before I go on to the next topic, does the audience here, our studio audience, have any questions for our panel on what we just talked about before we go on to the next part of the subject? Any questions at all? Yes, sir.
So one of the things, especially since it sounds like a lot of your business came from social media, what do you just, now that it's a lot of outside disruptions, just like you said, with people trying to tap on, and there's a lot of people just blatantly stealing other ideas, what is something that you're doing this year that you weren't doing last year?
And if you just repeat that question for the audience on camera.
Oh, yeah. So he's asking what I do different this year than what I did last year, since people are more heavily present on social media, right? I just have better content going out, I guess. Before it was, if I look back at my old content, it was just outdated. I would find a picture on the MLS, just post it on my story, and it would say sold in big bold letters. Now it's more interactive. Since I do have a content creator, the videos are very well done. They're a slideshow. They're designed very well. They're good to look. They're nice to look at. Whereas most people, they don't have that kind of creative content going out. They're more basic. Recording, I'm not saying that's bad. Either way, content's good. Any content you put out is good content. But I think that's how I stand out a little bit differently.
Okay, second, when did you hire the content?
It's been about 6 to 7 months. So fairly new.
And you've seen that basically for 200 a week, you're getting a good return on your investment?
100%.
And it goes out to the deal.
What's that?
And you can see the direct return on investment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
return.
Yeah, it is a good return on investment, yes.
So what percentage is business, what's personal, 70, 30, what's your?
Can you say that again?
What percentage of your business?
Personal, what's business? You're not 100% real estate, but some of your personal, sure.
Oh, yeah. So she's asking how much is my, how much content is real estate and how much is personal. I used to be 100% real estate. I realized that when I was 100% real estate, I was losing people. People didn't like to be engaged with my stuff just because they knew it was the same thing every single time. So recently, about a year ago, I started integrating more personal life. People liked seeing my personal life. So I'm at about 70-30, 70% business, 30% personal.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to move down a different train of thought completely. I don't think I really prepped anybody for this, so this should be fun. So all of you are business entrepreneurs. You've created a business that you grew from nothing, that you were able to turn into a livelihood that supports you and your family. But what I notice about most real estate entrepreneurs that hit your level of success is that real estate most of the time is not the only business they have created. And I know that many of you probably have other ventures and things that you've done. Who here has another business that they have outside of real estate? Okay, tell us about your business.
So this business was paid all through real estate sales, no loans, paid free and clear. I currently own Candelabra Cafe and Lounge. It is a, I like to say, pretty extravagant lounge. It's very well decorated with a speakeasy, full service bar, full service restaurant on Maryland Parkway and Silverado Ranch. Yes.
So wait a minute. So this is like real estate nirvana. You're telling me that you own a bar that in a nightclub kind of cafe that you can go and enjoy before and after work and meet your clients there and hold events there. I mean, that seems like real estate gold.
Yeah, it was actually, that's the purpose of me investing into this lounge, was to leverage real estate, build my networks, the people I come across in there, take clients there, do more engaging things with my SOI.
So I just want to say that you have an internal farm, right? They literally come to you.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyone else have another business that they have outside of real estate you're either an investor in, your family has, or anything like that, that you support through your networking events? No?
You mean like my husband?
Yeah.
Like, well, we have a car business, so we do like buying and selling cars and other ventures hopefully soon. And so we do meet a lot of people that way, but.
Yeah, absolutely. Family businesses. My wife has a business that I support through real estate,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's none of my business, she says, but it's a business I support. Anyone else have anything like that similar, maybe a business venture that you in your real estate business?
Well, I still do every once in a while, but it does give me deals. It has over my whole career. I used to be a musician,
Oh, okay.
an entertainer, a professional musician. So yeah,
I know a nightclub you can play at.
That's right. So yeah, that actually, if I think about that, yeah, that gives me 2-3 deals a year.
And he's being very modest on where he played.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to tell him where you played.
Yeah, tell us more about that, because I'm intrigued.
Holes in the wall, guys. You know, I play the guitar. Have you guys heard of my Perrin?
Yeah.
I play that shit all the time. You know, I play around town, the casinos and stuff like that. And that is always. I played at the New York the other day, and I'm sitting there and I'm seeing and I'm counting, and there was actually 4 of my past clients there. And it was great. I go say hi, and I actually got them through there, years ago. Back when I was doing it a lot.
So you're like a superhero. You're a realtor by day and a rock star
A
by
weekend
night.
warrior, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And Jeff, what I find interesting is your wife is in the real estate industry as well, right? And you guys made this a family business.
Yes.
It's enjoyable, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. It is. Farming. It's fun to farm with your family.
No,
Matching overalls.
and it's funny you said that. We do. We take the dog and Noah, and we go out when we're door knocking or handing out our goodies. It is cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it is fun.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm serious.
I can see it. That's wholesome family.
No, it's cool.
I wrote out all these questions beforehand. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm just putting it out there. Okay, so let's end with this train of thought. So the agents that are here listening to your business ventures, the way that you've created your business out of nothing, by the way, and I want to congratulate all of you on that. What words of advice in your independent business ventures do you have for them if they're looking to start in that same venture, hopefully not compete against you, but what advice do you have for the group?
Be consistent at whatever it is you do.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter which route you take. If you take all routes, just be consistent at that thing you do.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on that because when I first started, it's like, oh, I'm going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and this is shiny over here, so go focus on this. No, pick one thing, master it, and then move on to another. Or like you say, another pole in the pond.
Know before you grow?
Yes, yes. And I'll say another thing too, it took me years to get down is time blocking. For sure. Like you're saying, you're 2 hours a day, wherever it may be, AM, PM, whatever, but make sure it's on there.
That's awesome.
What everybody said. I mean,
Ditto.
it's, yeah, take the time, be consistent. Also, guys, it's a long game. I mean, we're in a hard business. And I know it's very hard sometimes when you get that check, you're counting. Because I'm speaking from experience, you know, you need to pay those bills, that check. If you're expecting that check, don't think about one house, think about the next 100. So that mindset has to shift. I know it's easier said than done. I think about my checks all the time, believe you me. But if we do what we're supposed to do, which is be consistent, very slow dance, but you get to dance if you stick to it.
Roy, anything you want to?
Honestly, for me, it was a game changer when I hired a coach. I know I sound like a broken record, but honestly, it made a big difference for me. I've been in the business for 20 years. So I never thought I always had like a broker to talk to, but like I never actually hired a coach. I never really sat down and figured out what my pluses and areas of opportunity are. And it really made a big difference for me last year. So my ideas for like, I definitely do consistently is the most important thing, whatever you're doing. But I think you need to look at, see what your business plan is, make sure you have a business plan, and make sure that you are hiring whether a coach, a mentor, get on a team, whatever that looks like for you. There's how many, 7 or 8 brokers here. You can reach out to us and just talk to us, and maybe we can give a nice little roadmap to you. Because honestly, when you sit down, you do everything on a consistent level every single day, the same thing, you're going to find that your numbers are going to drastically change, and you're going to feel really good about coming into real estate. Because when you come into the office, you're on the email, you're going to talk on the phone for a while. You're just trying to get yourself momentum to get on that phone and make those cold calls. But if you just take a moment and just like really look at your business plan and just try to make sure that you do everything consistently, and look at a coach, get a coach.
So what I've heard you guys say several times is consistency, making sure the schedule makes sense, making sure that you're here doing your activities. It's not like we're doing manual labor or anything like that, but our job is very stressful. And I'm sure making phone calls and knocking doors and being in front of the computer and being on LinkedIn and doing those things, it's stressful in some ways and it's cumbersome and it takes time. How do you stop from burning out? How do you keep yourself, fixated on the goal and not just, I can't do this anymore?
I think that's the key, is you have to have a goal. You have to have your why, what you're going to do. Why are you doing this? And you have to love what you do. Like, I think a lot of us really genuinely love what we do. We're not just doing it well, some of us are, but like most of us aren't just doing it for the paycheck. We really do enjoy what we're doing. And I think you have to have a why. You have to have it pinned up on your mirror. It has to be every day on a whiteboard, whatever that looks like for you.
Anything you guys want to add to that?
No, I'm going to piggyback though, not the why. Yeah, for sure. Because it's like, man, I got to pick up the phone and make those fun calls and this and that. It's like, okay, there's my family, there's my dog, whatever it may be. There's the dream trip or whatever. So we have a dream board as well. So
that's awesome. Yeah. So you have a goal that you're focused on to make it happen.
Yep.
I drink. Come on, guys. This is very fun.
I didn't say what do you use to get
No, I just don't want to go back to my previous life.
Yeah.
So I always think about that. Well, I could make that call, or I could go back to what I was doing, and I definitely don't want to go back to what I was doing. So that to me it's a driver.
I like that. That's what I kind of tell my team,
Yep.
Real estate's a business where you can make more than a doctor, more than a lawyer.
Yeah.
What other career can you not need a doctor's degree in and make that kind of money?
Yeah, with no student loans.
With no student loans. So
you guys each of you has a stable database that you are getting business from. Each of you has an additional business pillar and multiple, in many cases, that you're receiving new clients, new leads from, and closings from. And so what I'm interested to ask you is, based on all of these business ventures, we hear agents so many times get so concerned about the marketplace. Like, price is going to go up, price is going to go down, what's going to happen to interest rates. You guys have been here a long time in this business and succeeding at a high level. How much does the market really matter to your success? And what are your thoughts on the market? I want to ask you that.
Can I?
Yeah, please go right ahead.
We cannot control the market.
Yeah.
The markets, I started in 2005. I was 24 years old. Any of you who have been in 2005, that was fake. That was a fake market.
Yeah.
Right? My first commission was 10% on a $400,000. I was 24. From making $22,000 a year, 23,000, to making my first home, 40 grand. We cannot control the market. The market is what it is. One of the things that we can control is our input. How many calls are we making? How many videos? How many LinkedIn connections are we doing? And we can do that every day, regardless of what the market is. So when people say, well, the market is slow, that's a cop-out. And I hate that term, but I don't like it when people rely on the market to have a success. Everybody, look, 2021 was a great year for most of us, right?
Yeah.
We all had a great time. But what about now? I don't see the great times on Facebook no more, right? Is that where is this party at, guys? Right? So we cannot control the market. However, we can control how much we put into it. Prospecting, sending postcards, doing video. That we can do all day long, regardless of what the market is.
Great point. Anything you guys want to add to that? Ditto?
100%. Yeah, exactly what he said.
So, Brandon and I have talked about it many times that, every year it seems like 35 to 40,000 homes sell in Southern Nevada, which is, 70 to 80,000 paychecks to real estate agents. And what I've seen is the consistency of doing activities leads a certain group of agents to success every time. But yet there's so many people that sit out there in fear of the sky's falling and I'll be out of the business, right? And our business is very cutthroat. I mean, a lot of people don't survive, a lot of people don't succeed, but you guys did. And you are, and we're happy you're here doing it. Any additional questions for this illustrious panel of experts that we have assembled here for you today? Yes, sir, you in the back. Oh, no. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Let's give them a round. So for the group that's out here, I know that online and Veda's waving at me that there are a ton of questions that are on there. Because you all are in such different pillars of business, would it be okay if some of the agents, if they had questions, would call you and just pick your brain? You guys willing to do that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. Absolutely.
Low monthly fee is all it's on. So I love this panel. I think it was a great setup by Todd about building pillars of business. What he wanted me to convey to you is don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Have two baskets, have your database that's feeding your business and have sources of business. And I love how you guys have leveraged that.
And that actually, out of everything that we talked about, I think that's the best thing that we can take. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That'll ruin you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Almost ruined me.
For sure. Yeah. So a couple of other quick things while we have you here. Signature announced just a meeting or two ago our strategic partnership with some title partners. We have the illustrious group from Tycor Title, and Ashley's here at our meeting. We have the great group at Chicago Title as well. I want to highlight for a second why we have these partners, just like we do Prosperity, who's been an amazing strategic partner. It's not to force any of you to use a certain title company, even though Ashley's saying, use me, use me. The point is to have a resource. They provide great education. They provide amazing business tools. And what I noticed from what you guys were talking about, when I do my farming or my prospecting or my calls, I use these great companies to support that business. They have calling lists. They have informational flyers. They have walking lists so that I can walk up and down the street and know who's in the house, right? It's like magic. And so the whole point is make sure that you're using all the benefits you have at your disposal. We went through an amazing process, let me tell you, over the last year of vetting different companies and who's out there. And every single member of our management team had a relationship with these two companies in some way. They know them, they relate to them. And so that's why we picked them. But I want to take it a step further. If you know of someone out there who could be a great strategic partner for Signature Real Estate Group that provides a great service, I'd love to hear from you and hear who you're thinking of and who you're working with, because we want to find you great people that can support your business. And so please think of me for that. And then with that, any questions before I end the meeting?
Oh, Jen.
Oh, wait. Oh, I almost forgot, folks. Don't let it happen to you. We have some information from Janet Carpenter. Give Janet a round of applause.
obviously Chris doesn't want to hear what I have to say. Okay. So
Can't say that.
I'm going to talk about the LVR bowling tournament. Ever since Signature has been in existence, we have put together numerous teams to show up at the bowling tournament. It costs you $25 to bowl. Everything goes to charity. But here's the thing. I don't know about this year, but every year up till this year, I've kind of had connections at LVR, and we wear our red t-shirts, and I say, we want to be right in the middle of the bowling alley, the middle 7, 8 lanes. We've had up to 8 teams, usually between 7 and 8, and we make a real statement. And so I did talk to the committee chair of community outreach, and usually the last week before the bowling tournament starts, they're begging for people to come bowl. Not this year. More than half the slots are gone. So I want you to come bowl for Signature. All the money goes to charity, fun time, network with other agents from across the valley. It's April 7th, 9 to 12 at Sunset Station. I'm going to stay after the meeting. I'll be sitting right here with my coffee. And bring me your $25 because you're not registered till I have your $25. So thank you very much.
All right. All I can say is make sure you don't strike out with Janet. Yes. So definitely don't forget about that. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Our next meeting will be at the Northwest office. Beautiful office. Definitely make the drive out there. It's a great place to hang out. I know I do. And so we'd love to see you there. And thank you so much for being here. Have a great week.